right, so let's see if we can understand demand and supply in real estate a little bit more, right? So that's the hardest topic right now because again, properties are skyrocketing in value because of low inventory and because of a lot of shift that's going on in the marketplace, right? So I stumbled into this article on Forbes. Article says residential real estate headed for a crash, right? I personally, I don't think so. There's nothing happening in the market that's not happening to everybody, right? So there's nothing happening right now in this market that's not happening to everybody, and because of that, I am confident that there is not really a crash coming unless we're talking about meme coins in crypto, right? So the U.S. housing market is hot right now, so hot in fact that buyers are paying well over asking prices. I told you earlier, people are outbidding each other, even $1 million over, right? It's crazy, right? Now, are those values going to be sustained? I will be careful with that, okay? So I would be careful with that, even though I just said I don't think there's going to be a market crash, but I also don't think people are going to be moving back to the urban areas. I don't think that either. I also don't think that people are going to, I think people's life are transformed forever. What just happened to human or to mankind, right? I think people's life are transformed. I don't think people are going backwards. So then when you consider the fact that there's inflation, right? All those money that was being printed, yeah, somebody has to pay for them. So I think it will sustain. The confluence of factors that have led to this point has many comparing the current market to the previous housing bubble. Yeah, I don't think they're comparable either. Let's go. Before sounding the alarm, you must consider the economic indicators. I'm not a big fan of economic indicators. I'm not going to go into that kind of details. One thing I can tell you is that yes, home prices are skyrocketing. I don't think they're going to come back down. So if you have situations where you're trying to refinance right now, there's also all-time low rates in the marketplace for mortgage. I would definitely consider refinancing right now. Okay. Yeah, it's a little difficult to tell because again, there are things that are happening that we've never seen before. I don't think we're going back to how life used to be. I think there's going to be more remote jobs. People are going to be working from home. People are going to commute less. The idea of home businesses are here to stay more than ever before. I'm not talking about MLMs, okay? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual home business where you're exchanging value and not building on top of a Ponzi scheme. I'm not saying MLMs are Ponzi schemes. I'm saying they're kind of like, maybe, right? So let's leave that topic alone for another day. Home prices are rising at a pace similar to that of 2006, but for a different reason. There was also crooks on the high levels of those office buildings, pumping that bubble, right, with the subprime loans, right? March saw a 13.2 year-over-year price increase. Okay, so prices are much more than March last year. That's what that means. The next month's numbers, S&P CoreLogic case. So we're getting too deep. I don't want to go too deep into the economy numbers over there. With home prices continuing to accelerate, some might think the market is heading towards an inevitable drop. All right, so there's a lot of talk in the marketplace that that's not going to stay like that forever. But again, there's a lot of things, like I said, there's a lot of things that's happening that's not going to be like that forever. Okay, and that's very important to pay attention to, right? That's why some people are still hopeful that life will go back to normal. Now, the question is that what do you call normal? Okay, have you ever heard of the terminology or the phrase, the term phrase, new normal? Right? You ever thought about that? All right, so we still have to use mask. Okay, it's every other day somebody's threatening us that we may have to use mask again, right? All these kind of things are going on, right? So again, I think life will go back to some kind of normal, but it's going to be a new normal. Okay, so when you translate that back to the fact that houses are just up by 13.2%, if you pay attention to the fact that people are looking for houses and people are not trying to leave their houses, maybe that's not too much of an indicator that there will be a crash. Of course, there will always be some form of correction, right? But there's a difference between a crash and a correction, right? So if you don't have to buy a house right now, you don't have to buy a house. Just wait around, but if you are trying to flip houses right now, not only can you absolutely make serious money right now if you do the right thing, but you can still pick up houses cheaply if you learn how to market to distressed homeowners, right? Distressed homeowners are not concerned about the fact that my house is worth something. They just want to get rid of it. That's the difference, okay? So on one end, people are looking to buy because they're desperately trying to buy a house, right? That's why the prices are going up. But on the other end, people are desperately trying to get rid of a house. That means they don't mind selling as low as possible as long as they get rid of this piece of crap, right? You get the analogy right there? Well, you get the gist, right? So there's a wide gap between what could be possible when it comes to flipping houses. But the key thing is that you have to find these deals, right? You have to find these deals. How do you find these deals? Well, if you go to the MLS, basically where the normal agents, where they list their houses, the house you would typically see on Zillow, right? You may end up overpaying because, again, you end up in a bidding war with the market, with the general marketplace, right? Why? Because, again, that's the market, and they are right in this moment, right? They think the houses are worth a whole lot more, 13% more than last year, right? But on the other side, on the flip side of things, on this side over here, we talked about foreclosure possibly going up heavy, right? Increasing foreclosure filing activities, right? So that means the bank are going to be desperate to get rid of some types of property because the banks are not in the business of managing houses, right? Or selling houses. They want that money, right? So sometimes they just want us, whatever you can give them, they want whatever it is so they can flip it, because that's the business that the bank is in. They're in the business of flipping money, right? So if you can position for that, activity right there, extremely low prices when you're dealing with, if you learn how to find distressed homeowners, and then the high demand for houses that are fixed up in the marketplace, this could be a great opportunity. No, it is a great opportunity, okay? But you have to pay attention to what I just said. The idea is to buy low and sell high, and you want as wide gap as possible in between. And that's what this Forbes article is saying, okay? Well, they're talking about the spike in prices, right? I'm talking to you about what that means in terms of real estate investing opportunities, okay? With home prices continue to accelerate, some might think the market is heading towards an inevitable drop. However, the reality is the booming housing market at the moment is not necessarily translating to inflationary pressures, right? All right. So, inflation. When they say inflationary pressure, when you isolate houses by itself, yes. All right. But when we're dealing with, when we're talking about the general market at large, all this money that was printed, somebody's going to pay for it. I'm not leaving that topic alone, and that's the more reason why you should have a home business. That's the more reason why you should be, because the best way for you to flip money outside of being a bank is to do businesses, not 401k, not IRA, not any of those kind of craziness, not stock market, not even crypto, because crypto is a lot of unforeseen things. I'm taking risk in crypto, but I'm very aware of the risk I'm taking, and it's a different topic entirely. That's because it's a new technology, right? But let's just remove that from the equation. I'm talking about the stock market, 401k, IRA, all these different gimmicky things. The best way is to actually run a business where you're exchanging value, and it's the easiest things to do that right now with digital marketing, with the fact that there's $4.28 trillion exchanging hands online worldwide. That's a great opportunity right now that I would be positioned, if I were you, to take advantage of, and I'm advising you to take advantage of that right now if I were you. So again, if you want to learn more about all of that stuff, just come inside to the masterclass, fliphousesnationwide.com, and take advantage of it. Get the book. We have free books that we're giving away as well at realestatemoneysecrets.com. Yeah.